And folks, I've got Elle from Boost Oxygen joining me this morning. So Elle, it's good to see you again in person.
I know it is. I'm just loving this.
And I see you've got the lineup here of Boost Oxygen.
Yeah.
And I hear Boost Oxygen is popular amongst celebrities. So I was hoping this morning you could talk about that.
Yeah, we had a bunch of people just pop up. We don't know this until we see us on TV suddenly.
Okay.
Kristen Chenoweth, who is a singer. She's an entertainer. She also has asthma. She was in Park City with the Utah Symphony and did a great show. And she is a fan of Boost Oxygen because of asthma. And Park City's not super high, but it still has altitude. And she had it right on her, I guess, behind her where she sings, and used it the whole time she was there. And she talked about it. She talked about it even on the Kelly and Ryan show. So
nice.
yeah, so it's pretty cool. And then Von Miller, he's a Bronco. A lot of people think, boy, you know, people just use it for altitude, and that's all it is, and that's great. But it's also a blessing and a curse here because a lot of locals think that that's all it's for. It's for tourists.
Yeah.
But Von Miller, who is a Bronco, okay, so he lives here.
Yeah.
There is advantage.
Yeah. And is athletic.
He's athletic. He's in
at
shape.
elevation.
He has all that going on. But he also has grass allergies, which is tough if you're a football player. Obviously, you're on the grass. And then also asthma. And also, he went through a really tough COVID period. So he had to recover from that. So he's a big fan of supplemental oxygen and Boost. And then lately, or this week, we just saw that we were in all the newspapers and everything because the pitcher at the All-Star game for Major League Baseball had a big can on the pitcher's mound. Now that was for altitude, you know, at that time, but I do like to point that out. Yeah, so lots of fun. We get to be on TV for free.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I know. Free publicity.
It is,
you know?
And they choose it on their own. So,
yeah. So as you're kind of talking about this, so although, you know, Boost Oxygen is basically a household name for altitude, it really has a lot of other reasons. There's a lot of other good reasons to use it.
Yeah.
So can you kind of talk a little bit more about why locals and also people at sea level, why they would use Boost Oxygen?
Yeah, and it's funny because whenever I talk to locals here, they're like, oh yeah, I have that for my parents when they come in, blah, blah, blah. They all are into the altitude. Never think about using it themselves.
Yeah.
And it drives me nuts because I use it every other day.
Yeah.
So, you know, like I said, allergies, all this wildfire smoke. One of the big hot spots for our sales right now is Chicago. And I asked my sister who lives there, I'm like, what's going on there? Because we're getting a big surge in sales there. Obviously, it's sea level, nothing to do with altitude.
Yeah.
And we're trying to figure that out, but it's probably sports and there's been a lot of humidity there.
Yeah.
Also a lot of COVID recovery.
Yeah.
So we're kind of guessing, but obviously it's not altitude.
Yeah.
So I always want to point that out because that's always my struggle. Like I said, a blessing and a curse. Great thing about altitude, but hard with talking to the locals. So I always want to say, hey, you know, it's for everybody.
Yeah.
Some of our biggest states are Minnesota, California near the beach. Gosh, Washington State has a little town that's right on the beach, no elevation, that's really into Boost Oxygen. So, you know, I just say, you know, have one in your med kit, have one at home, use it for allergies, and you live here.
Yeah, no, I definitely use it because some days are really bad and you're just like, I can't breathe.
Especially this season. And this week I went to String Cheese, which was really fun at the Dillon Amphitheater. Had my dance on, and what's really nice is you get fatigued, and it's nice to have oxygen with you. When you're dancing, and you're out late, and it's a weekday.
And that's a convenient dance party size.
This is dance party size, and you can get the different kinds. So we have all the different aromas too that help you out as far as extra health benefits, and they also smell really good. So,
and of course, you know, the menthol.
I know this one is
my
your favorite.
That one's my favorite. I know your favorite is the grapefruit one.
I like the grapefruit, and a lot of people are afraid of it because they think it's going to smell weird, but it smells so good. It's like holding a grapefruit in front of you.
Oh, I love it.
So refreshing. And then Think Tank's our new one, that rosemary. But we have all the sizes now in our new little pocket, so there's always a size for you.
Now, I know up here in Summit County, you can pretty much get Boost Oxygen like everywhere up here. But for somebody going back to sea level, you know, you're talking about Chicago, where would they find Boost Oxygen when they're back home?
Well, we are nationwide pretty much with Walgreens, which really helps because that makes it accessible. Almost everyone has a Walgreens near them. So that has expanded tremendously. We have a store locator, so you can just find where a store is near you.
Okay.
But Dick's Sporting Goods is another one where we have
Okay.
nationwide expansion. And if you just really want to just order it, you can order it online too.
Yeah.
So anyone can get it. We sell it worldwide. We're in, I think, 19 countries now.
Yeah.
So
Excellent.
yeah, you can
Yeah.
pretty much get it anywhere. The only thing is you still can't bring any sort of gas on a plane.
Yeah.
So you have to get it where you are.
Yeah.
That's why we really work hard at making it accessible and having it in a lot of retailers. And
Yeah.
that store locator people just love because when they need oxygen, they want it now. So
Yeah.
it's good to know where it is.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's great. That's another sort of the store locator is another great resource.
It is,
of
yeah.
Boost Oxygen.
Yeah.
Well, Elle, thank you so much for coming in and joining me
Yeah.
and telling us more about all the benefits of Boost.
Yeah, great. Thanks for having me.